Right now, the president calls for a new tax plan that will bring more revenue into the country. Who will be affected and who is against the plan?
New developments in the Isleworth murder trial. What new evidence the prosecutors are bringing into the courtroom?
Also, an Orlando woman is dead after watching a fight. All the top stories and more. 96 News starts right now.
This is 96 News. News you can trust.
Good evening, everyone. It is the week of September 19th, and this is 96 News. I'm Ryan Shea.
And I'm Rebecca Vargas. Officers are saying a woman in Orlando was gunned down because she was watching a fight. It happened on Friday night as 21-year-old Victoria Straughter headed towards a stoplight on Garland Avenue near Church Street when 5 men approached Straughter's car and opened fire. At this time, police don't think that Straughter spoke to her gunman, but just looked at him the wrong way. Police say a witness identified one of the men from surveillance videos. At this time, they are not releasing which man pulled the trigger or any of the surveillance footage.
Well, the happiest place on earth is getting charged some hefty fines. The United States Department of Labor has fined Walt Disney World for violations to safety and health codes with OSHA. Back in March of this year, Disney worker Russell Roscoe was killed by the Primaville Whirl roller coaster at the Animal Kingdom Park. Investigators say that sensors were not maintained and guardrails were not installed properly. A spokesperson for the theme park says that all issues have been reviewed and fixed. The fines cost the company nearly $69,000.
Wow. Well, the nation's economic recovery has been a struggle, but did you know that poverty is at an all-time high? We have Matthew Hull with us. Matthew?
That's right, Rebecca. The poverty level in the United States has drastically risen since 2010. There are nearly 46.2 million people living below their own means. And a recent report from the Census Bureau says that high unemployment and a very weak economic return is to blame. This report was published just days before President Obama's proposal of $474 billion tax cuts to get job growth up and running again. Last year, the amount of children under the age of 18 living in poverty grew 2% from the previous year. This is the third consecutive and largest number of people since the Bureau began keeping record 52 years ago. I'm Matthew Hall, reporting for 96 News. Ryan and Rebecca, back to you.
Thank you, Matt. We'll be right back after this break with your top stories and your forecast. Stay with us.
Welcome back to 96 News. Fall is approaching, and so is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. The event returns to the Magic Kingdom for select nights between September 13th and November 1st. Molly, what's the weather like this week if people plan to head to Disney?
They'll want to bring umbrellas because this week we'll be experiencing moderate scattered thunderstorms throughout the week with high highs and high lows. Beginning with tomorrow's weather, Tuesday, the high will be 90 degrees with a low of 73. Wednesday, the high will also be 90 degrees with a low of 74, but the humidity will increase as we greet the rest of the week. As for Thursday and Friday, the high will be 89 with lows of 74 and 73. Moving into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday we'll be experiencing more scattered thunderstorms. If you're planning on going to the beaches, you'll want to make different plans. Ryan?
Thanks, Molly. Well, new developments in the case of the Isleworth millionaire murder trial. The gun that was allegedly used by millionaire Bob Ward to kill his wife was shown in court. The prosecutors also showed gruesome new crime scene photos of his wife inside their Florida mansion. Sources are telling us that the defense tried to leave out evidence of a purple wine stain on the back of Ward's shirt, which could indicate a fight between him and his wife, and also explain a broken glass that was found on their patio. We will have more on this trial as it develops.
The 10th anniversary of the September 11th attacks were remembered last week, and the heroes and victims are still feeling the physical and emotional effects. 96 News' Vanessa Mieses is with us tonight with the latest. Vanessa?
We all remember the chaos September 11, 2001 had nation and worldwide, but what we don't realize is the health effects our victims and heroes are going through to this day. The New York Department of Health and Mental Hygiene estimates that 4 times as many firefighters and twice as many EMS workers have low lung function after 9/11 as they did before the attacks. But physical harm is not where the damage stops. Emotional and mental issues have also risen. Recent studies state 1 in 5 adults have reported post-traumatic stress symptoms after the attacks. Director of Counseling at Southeastern University, Dr. Emery Welch, explains the correlation between emotional and physical health.
We find that living out our daily lives, things happen that remind us of that. Many times we go through things that we don't even remember, but will still affect us. That's how phobias basically get started.
See, the road to recovery is a lengthy one. If you or someone you know is dealing with the effects of traumas, feel free to look into counseling. Vanessa Mies is reporting live for 96 News. Back to you, Ryan and Rebecca.
The head coach at Winter Haven High School will not be attending games until further notice. Charlie Tate, who is also one of the school's math teachers, was accused of shoving a student last Friday. The employee relations director for the school system says that Tate was put on paid administrative leave Friday evening. Tate told the Lakeland Ledger that he would not comment on the situation until he had more facts and evidence.
Now it's time for sports with Angela Caseta. Angela?
Thank you, Ryan. In latest news, this past Friday, Los Angeles Laker Ron Artest recently changed his name to Meta World Peace and was legally approved. Reasons why: his publicist Courtney Barnes stated that the reason why the player chose the word meta was because it's a traditional Buddhist word that means kindness and loving towards all. Barnes also stated the player will have to receive a brand new driver's license to reflect his name change, and the switch will not affect his contract with the Lakers or any endorsement deals. In other news, the Laker will be dancing his way into this season's Dancing with the Stars. I believe the NBA lockout has these players investing a lot of time with newer hobbies. In local news, Southeastern University men's soccer had an amazing win against Huntington College, the score 4-1 this past Thursday. And with women's soccer, they had a tough loss against Palm Beach Atlantic, the score 0-1. Both teams will be going onto the road to play against 3 conference matches, so make sure you guys wish them best of luck. And with lady volleyball, they actually had a tough upsetting loss against Palm Beach Atlantic. They're scheduled to play this Thursday at 7 p.m. at the Sportsplex, so make sure you guys come out and cheer them on. If you guys missed any games and would like to be informed with stats and scores, make sure you visit seufire.com. My name is Angie Quesada with 96 Sports. Back to you, Ryan and Rebecca.
Thanks, Angie. Well, if you're a driver who takes the Florida Turnpike or other toll roads, your ride is going to get a bit pricier. Set for June of 2012, the tolls will increase by 25 cents. This does not apply to SunPass holders, who will still receive their 25-cent discount. Officials from this Florida's Turnpike enterprise says that the cost of tolls needs to keep up with the cost of the roads.
A free banquet will be held this week to benefit those who suffer with drug addictions. Leland Ministries is sponsoring the event on September 22nd in Bartow at the First Baptist Church. The event will feature Reverend Doug Gilcrease, chaplain for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He will raise awareness and promote recovery for those who want to be free from the ties of addiction.
Sounds like a great cause.
It really does.
It really does. Well, since most of us don't have the luxury of traveling to Manhattan to see the newest collections in fashion, 96 News' Sally Ibarra is here to tell us what's going on during Fashion Week in the Big Apple. Sally?
Well, we all know September is one of the busiest months for New York City and its fashion industry. Among the list of designers who were there to show off their latest collections for Fall Fashion Week were BCBG, Michael Kors, Chanel, and Dolce & Gabbana. While Hollywood stars didn't fall behind in becoming part of the show, the highlights of the week included young stars such as Justin Bieber, who attended the Dolce & Gabbana event showing off his style, wearing big glasses and a live snake around his hand, as he posed for a photo with Brooklyn Decker and Vogue editor Anna Wintour. He also confesses to E! News his love for sneakers, or as he calls them, cool kicks. Kylie Jenner, the Kardashians' youngest sister, hits the runway for Avril Lavigne's rock-inspired collection with the support and cheering of her older sisters and older brother, Brody Jenner. To top off the night, 60-year-old Kirstie Alley, Hollywood actress, looks stunning on the runway with a fierce look and signature model pose for designer Zhang Toy's collection. Reporting live, I'm Sally Ibarra, and you're watching 96 News. Now back to you, Ryan and Rebecca.
Thank you, Sally. Well, this week, President Obama released a new tax plan that will charge people who make over $1 million a year. This will ensure that they pay the same percentage as those in the middle class. The plan is called the Buffett Plan, named after billionaire Warren Buffett, who said that it was unfair that he paid less in taxes than his secretary. Former President Clinton was interviewed on Meet the Press Sunday afternoon, saying he is glad that the president is doing this. Many Republicans are still opposed to the plan, saying that it may discourage investments.
Filmmaker Kara Kennedy, daughter of Senator Edward Kennedy of Massachusetts, has died at age 51. She completed her workout at a Washington, D.C. health club and then had a heart attack. The Edward Kennedy Institute for the United States Senate in Boston announced her death. She is survived by her son, daughter, mother, and brothers.
High school test scores down in the Sunshine State, and we'll have the story for you right after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. SAT scores are down in Florida. 96 News' Johnny Fernandez has the story. Johnny.
Thank you, guys. And while SAT scores are falling down again, the class of 2011 had an average score of 497. The SAT sections are scored from a 200 to an 800, making a 2,400 the highest possible score you can get. This year's class did score a 1,500, making it the lowest on record for the College Board. Math scores decreasing 1 point and writing scores decreasing 2 points. The main reason explaining for the decrease of the exam is the diverse students taking the exam. About 27% of the 1.65 million test takers were non-English speaking home. 30% of those students were either Hispanic, Black, or American Indian. College Board reported last week that in order for a student to maintain a B- in college, they must have at least scored a 1,550. 43% of the class of 2011 did score that benchmark. Reporting live for 96 News, this is Johnny Fernandez. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Johnny. 1 person is dead and 2 are injured today after a shooting Sunday morning. Police are saying that the suspect shot 1 victim at a residence and then moved to a nearby Great Faith Christian Church and shot 2 more people. The 2 victims from the church were rushed to Lakeland Regional Medical Center. There is no word at this time as to their condition. Well, that's all the time we have left here for today.
Keep it on 96 News for the latest in news, weather, and sports.
Have a great week, everyone.